everyone, and welcome to BIA Kelsey's new Analyst Brief series. I'm Mike Boland. I'm an analyst with BIA Kelsey. The goal of this video series is to break down complicated subjects or emerging areas of media and technology in under 5 minutes. So today we'll be covering disruptive marketplaces, who wins, who loses, how that translates to today's local media landscape, and advice for being on the right side of that winner-loser divide. And yes, we'll name some names. So first, from a historical perspective, most periods of technological disruption start with evolutionary shifts in hardware, which lead to transformation in the way that we consume things. So we saw that with the PC revolution, for example, and then the commercial internet, and most recently the smartphone explosion. So this all creates entry points for disruption. So for example, evolved mobile hardware has bred new ways to deliver content and ads. So right now we're definitely in one of those disruptive periods, and I don't think anyone disputes that. The question is, who are the winners and losers, or more accurately, who is inherently disadvantaged or advantaged in these scenarios? So we've observed over the last couple decades that the disadvantage usually goes to companies that are saddled by an innovator's dilemma in transforming a legacy business that was built for a different set of realities. There's also organizational inertia in some mature companies, and if the company is public, that raises an additional challenge in being beholden to quarterly earnings cycles, which makes it harder to think long-term and focus on new innovation. So conversely, the advantaged companies are born into these new environments. So companies today that are mobile first or mobile only, for example, aren't as challenged to adapt. So what are some examples on both sides? So Google is a company challenged by mobile because most content these days is accessed via apps. And that disrupts its dominant position at the front door of browser-based experiences. Now, to be fair, Google is doing a commendable job embracing some of the formats that threaten search most, which can be seen with Google Now, and we just put out a white paper on that topic. Another challenged company in this new environment is Yelp. It thrived on the desktop with a user acquisition strategy that mostly involved SEO. But due to the app trend I just mentioned, it has to form a different user acquisition strategy, which is getting people to download its app, which is a difficult proposition, and we're seeing public markets certainly react to that. Now, as for the advantaged companies, one big one is Instagram. It's very much mobile first. It just surpassed 400 million global users, and it's being innovative in the ways it's integrating advertising in native ways. But more so, it's built around a multimedia-rich format at a time when smartphone optics make the sharing of rich photography natural. So the iPhone 6s has a 12 megapixel camera. So for that same reason, I'm bullish on companies that are built on multimedia social sharing, such as Snapchat and Periscope, both of which have lots of local marketing implications we've written about. And the proclivities and user behavior of millennials adds to all of these things in supporting these types of companies that are built on social sharing. There's also Facebook, speaking of which wasn't born mobile, but I think has some good lessons in that it's done a good job adapting. So 76% of its ad revenues are now mobile, and it basically invented mobile native advertising. And it's even looking further into a post-smartphone world such as virtual reality with Oculus. So it sees a future of social interaction being more immersive, and that includes local commerce like checking out a restaurant or a hotel suite or a new car. And it's really embracing that technology and not just talking about it. So winding down, what does this all mean for companies in local? Legacy business models are disadvantaged, as we went over, but that doesn't necessarily mean a death sentence. So fostering innovation internally is really the name of the game, and we recommend establishing divisions that are physically separated from the legacy business. So a few examples are Deseret Media and YP. YP actually has an interesting history in that it was born out of an innovation center in what was AT&T Interactive. And that freedom to innovate is what really got it to where it is today as one of the most innovative companies from a product perspective in the local media space. So there's of course a lot more to it, but that's the quick version, and we'll have a lot more detail in our upcoming writings and conferences. So this has been a BI Kelsey Analyst Brief. I'm Mike Boland. Thanks for watching.